In our hyper-stimulated society, we constantly need more rapid gratification for everything. We want to consume the food we love right away every day without cooking anything. We want to lose weight in the blink of an eye without thinking, without making any effort, without getting out of the house. And we want to get a date, to get a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever, right away without doing anything. That is partly why dating apps have become so successful in the last years. And one symptom of that mentality of always wanting everything so quickly without doing anything is the thought, the myth that with hypnosis alone you can get somebody attracted, even somebody who never looked at you before, you can get that person attracted without doing anything. We are going to investigate that concept and see which part of that is kind of real and which part of that is more belonging to a myth than anything else. If we use as a rhetorical basis for analyzing this process the definition of Milton H Erikson, widely recognized as one of the most leading authorities in hypnosis, he said that every hypnosis was nothing but self-hypnosis. So even when you have the desire to hypnotize somebody, or when you have the desire to be hypnotized by somebody else, in the end, you, the other person, whatever, everyone is just self-hypnotizing themselves because they had the desire for it. Sometimes, though, those desires are unconscious, and we were not aware that we wanted to be hypnotized until somebody who had the skills for it came to us. That creates some sort of a paradox. But my first point, based on that definition, is when you presuppose, when you think that you need hypnosis or anything, or being jacked or whatever you think you need before you can become attractive in the eyes of a woman or whatever, why do you think that? Why do you presuppose you need something else, whether it be hypnosis or anything else, or money or whatever? Why do you presuppose that you need something else before you yourself can be enough to attract the kind of person you want to attract? Why are you not enough right now? What are you missing? From those initial excuses or evidence, which for you I know are legit evidence, obviously you are right, I'm wrong, you're right, I know that, of course. Based on that, based on those beliefs you have about, okay, women don't look at me because this and this and that. Fine, you take those excuses you have in your head and you go through some self-hypnosis process. Therefore, you distance yourself from the image you are getting when you think about those limitations. Of course, they are real. I'm not presupposing it is only in your mind. Of course, because you're not rich and muscular, no one likes you. I get it, you're definitely right. When you get an image of those limitations that are definitely real, when you get an image of those limitations, you distance yourself from that image, you imagine you can dissociate from that image, and you kind of see yourself from the outside. With that perspective in mind, when you can see yourself as some outside observer, you can notice what do you look like. When you think all of those dirty thoughts, oh, I'm just ugly, no one likes me, women don't like a poor guy like me. When you have all those images in mind, notice what you look like. From a distance, okay? It's not you anymore, it is somebody else. What does that person look like? Does that look like a confident person? Does that look like somebody that women would like to meet? Yes or no? Maybe yes, maybe not. When you think about this, you can add a new resource. Imagine somebody else that you personally know is very attractive to all the women around. Somebody like, maybe an actor, maybe somebody famous, whatever. You just take that person and you stick that person into that image. Instead of you, you replace the image of you by the image of somebody that you know is very attractive. Russell Brand, Brad Pitt, whoever you want. How does that person react? In the situation of your life, that is your life, but that person that you know is very attractive to women around, that person is in your life. How does that person react? Does that person moves differently? That person is maybe speaking differently. That person maybe has different thoughts. And then you can incorporate yourself back into that image, into the body and mind of that attractive person that all the women want. What does that change? Maybe you are changing something in your psychology, maybe some thoughts are leaving your head, maybe some new thoughts are popping up. just because you realize now, well, I was kind of getting myself trapped into my own negativity. And that is the basis of how you can develop the resource of confidence around women or around whoever you want to attract. If you can think of yourself as somebody attractive, you will have a completely different body language, you will have a completely different tonality with your voice, you will have a completely different eye contact, you won't shy away nervously when somebody looks at you, you will have a completely different behavior with every aspect of your communication. That alone will get you way more attractive. Then many other factors will play, but in any case it has to start from within. Even when you want to become a powerful hypnotist who can go on stage and tell anyone sleep and that person falls asleep, that still has to come from a deep sense of confidence or at least courage of I'm gonna do that, it's gonna work. Sometimes it won't, but at least it comes from the grounded assertiveness of I know it is going to work. When you come from that attitude, that personality, then we can go into the technical aspects of if I want to hypnotize somebody else, whether in a dating context or anywhere, or in a sales context, whatever, then we can talk about it, not before. So from there, with the right attitude, with the right inner game, so to speak, when you encounter somebody you find attractive and you would like to be noticed, you would like to connect with that person, then there is one strategy we can enumerate that is very interesting. It is, since all hypnosis is just nothing more than self-hypnosis, you can use, instead of thinking about how can I get that person in trance, you think about what kind of hypnotic trance that person naturally put themselves into. Anyone, specifically artists by the way, anyone can have access to their own personal trances. The goal is not to hypnotize somebody else, the goal is to get them to access their own natural method to hypnotize themselves. If you are interacting with a woman that you find attractive, one very easy thing is to ask her to tell you about her best memories. You may not go right away into a relationship thing, best moments with your ex, maybe not go there right away. However, you can go into what have been your best memories with your best friend, female best friend. What have been your best memories with your best friend? What happened? Was it on vacation? Was it in school? What happened? Can you tell me about this? And you make that person go again into her feelings. I know for many guys it is abstract because they don't understand somebody might have feelings. No, human beings are just logical, they just need data and information. Yeah, sure. Human beings are more emotional than you may think they are, and especially women have usually less conditioning about repressing feelings, like I have to be tough. So they are more open usually about their feelings and they are more in touch than men are in general. So when you ask a woman to describe to you what kind of feelings she experienced during the best moments of her life, she's going to get back into those moments through some self-hypnotic process. You are just helping her to access her own personal trance. She's remembering, and as she remembers that, you lead her into describing what it felt, who she was with, what did she say or what did somebody else said when she felt the happiest, how did that happen. Guiding somebody into their own pleasurable states doesn't mean that person will want to become your girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. At least it means that person will have a good time with you, at the very least. That alone will make that person think about you again, and will make that person potentially invite you again. And maybe you won't end up with her directly, but maybe because you made her have a great time, she will talk to you, she will talk about you to her friends. And for one step at a time, you build a social circle, and maybe in the end you are going to meet the person you would like to date in a very unconventional way, because it was the friend of the cousin of this person. You never know, you really never know when it comes to dating, you never know where it is going to come from. So leaving the options open is something I took for granted some years ago, and I made it a rule to make any person I meet have a good time. from the best of my abilities. Obviously, as long as they are not toxic people, in which case I just get rid of them. But if they are normal people, I want to make them have a good time around me, and that alone makes me have great connections because people want to meet me again. And when it is a woman, even if I don't try to get anything from her, sharing, spreading some good feelings from the best I can makes her usually want to see me again or makes her talk about me to her friends. In any case, that is only positive value added for everyone. So that was a little reframing about how to think about hypnosis in dating or in seduction, because many people are like conditioned with many stories that are kind of exaggerated about what hypnosis can do in a seduction context. Some things are true, but some things are highly exaggerated. And in any case, not everyone who pretends they can just hypnotize a woman like this, not everyone who pretends they can do that can actually do it. I have met many people like that, and when you see them in real, you have a great disillusion. So it is not always what you read on the internet or what you see on the internet. Even on those street hypnosis videos, there are some factors you may not see in the video about how it is done, how it is made. Sometimes it is real, sometimes it is a bit exaggerated on the ways it is done. So all in all, you can just investigate how hypnosis works from the inside, and if you want to become a better conversationalist yourself, you have a small document down below called the 7 Steps to Master Sleight of Mouth, which will teach you how to navigate any conversation and lead people's thoughts in the best way possible so that you can influence or persuade anyone you want in the blink of an eye. That is down below in the description. Thank you for watching and see you soon.